Come on, guys, let's go. Let's get it. Let's get it. Woo! All right. Thank you so much, guys, for coming here. First off, I want to thank Joel for putting on this event. I mean, this is something that takes a lot of courage to do, and I applaud him for having the courage to do this. And today I want to talk to you guys. I want to talk to you about the fastest way to become a real estate millionaire, right? If you don't have $20 million in your checking account. How many of you guys got $20 million in your checking account? Not too many over here. That's exactly what I teach, right? I'm going to teach you how to, that's my beautiful wife, by the way. She's in the audience. 5 kids. Give her a hand of applause. 5 kids. Been with me for 20 years, by the way. 20 years been together with 5 kids. She looks like a supermodel after 5 kids. So what is wholesaling, right? All wholesaling is in the real estate space. It's the art or technology of finding heavily discounted off-market properties for motivated sellers, using the direct-to-seller marketing approach and then selling your rights to the contract to another investor, or keeping it yourself, or flipping it, which we're going to talk about. That's essentially what it is. All it is, basically, how many of you guys day trade, or day traders, know anything with the stock market? Anybody in here? Okay. So essentially, all I do is day trade real estate all day. It's arbitrage, right? I buy at one price, and I just sell a little bit more. That's all it is. It's really simple. So what are some of the direct-to-seller marketing strategies that I teach, right? A lot of you guys probably do this in your business already. Direct mail, cold calling, Facebook ads, bandit signs, PPC, SEO, newspaper articles, driving for dollars, networking with realtors, attorneys, friends, family, contractors, etc., billboards, radio, television. It's simple. It's not rocket science, right? So why do I wholesale and go direct to seller? And why should you too if you have a business? Look, guys, a lot of you guys may not be in real estate, but if you have a business, you got to be in real estate. Like, where are you going to put all your money? You're going to keep it in your business? Inflation's eating it up every year. Get into real estate, and if you start with this approach that I teach you, I guarantee you will scale your net worth, like I have, very fast. So let's talk about some of the reasons why I wholesale and why you should get a wholesaling business set up too. I want to be first in position so I can capture the most equity, right? If I'm going direct to seller versus talking to what do most real estate investors do? Hey, they watch a show, they say, I want to be a real estate investor. What do? They go find a what? A realtor. You think realtors got all the deals? Why don't you undercut that? Not to say that realtors don't have deals. I mean, I do buy deals from realtors. But if you go direct to seller, you're going to capture tons of equity on properties, because what is a realtor going to do? A realtor says, hey, you can get $1 million for your property, and then they're going to turn around and they're going to put it on MLS, and they're going to talk it up, and they're going to try to get the most they can for it. And what happens is the sucker investors get caught, because I used to be one of those sucker investors. Almost lost my pants in 2014 when the oil crashed in the South. I'm from South Louisiana. Our whole economy depends on oil and gas. You guys, 2008 we didn't suffer in 2008. We suffered in 2014. The oil went from $128 a barrel to $28 a barrel. Almost lost everything. And the only reason I didn't is because right around the same time, magically, I started a wholesaling business, and I started getting deals from all these motivated sellers, right? People that wanted to sell their properties heavily distressed. So some of the reasons why, right? Let me ask you a question. Who you think makes more money? The Ford manufacturers or the Ford dealerships? Joel could probably answer that question. Who makes more money, the Ford manufacturers or the Ford dealerships? The manufacturers. Why? Because they're the source of the deal. They're first in position, right? That's what you are as a real estate wholesaler. You're the first in position to get the deal. You're the source of the deal, so you're going to capture the most equity on properties. So that's why I want to put myself in the first position so I can capture the most equity. That's first of all. Second, I want to be the source of the deal. From here, I can control where the deal goes and what happens to it and what I choose with it, right? So once I get into contract, I've got 5 strategies. I can wholesale it, which means I can basically get in a contract for, say, 100, and then flip it to a cash investor or just another investor for 110 and make a quick 10 grand. I didn't even own the property. I'm just flipping paper, right? I'm day trading real estate. No risk. I can't get caught with my pants down. 2, I can keep it as a rental, and I can capture tons of equity. I buy properties, I'm not kidding you, I buy properties at 50, 60, 65 cents on the dollar every single week. Every week we're buying properties, heavily discounted, which I'll show you some of them. I can wholesale it, right? If you don't know what a wholesale is, all a wholesale is, it's a hybrid between a wholesale and a full flip. What I'm doing is basically, I'm buying a property that's not that messed up that I can buy for, say, 65, 70 cents on the dollar, and I can just throw it back on MLS and maybe sell it for 90 cents on the dollar. I can sell it to a retail buyer discounted, not to an investor, but to a retail buyer. Those are the sweetest deals, which we'll talk about in a second, and the criteria. Or I can keep it as a fix and flip. Now, listen, guys, how many of you guys are watching those HGTV shows that showing how flipping's so sexy, and it's like if you start flipping houses, you become a millionaire overnight? How many of you have seen those? It's bullshit. They're lying to you. Most flippers hate their life. They hate their life because it's too much work, right? It makes for a good television show, but I promise you, I've done some. I've had a lot of students that have done flipping, and they come to me and say, man, dude, I'm working too hard. I'm like, I'm killing myself. Now, there are certain circumstances that you want to flip a house. If you can make $60,000, $70,000 a house and you can be in and out of a deal, we have a certain criteria. Days on market can't be longer than 30 days. We don't want to spend no more than 45 on a rehab. These guys that are doing complete guts, spending 80, 100 grand, they're into the deal 6 months to 8 months. Dude, I'm telling you, they hate their life. To make what? Yeah, you make 70. What would you rather make? 60 grand in 7 months, 8 months, or 10, 15 grand in 2 weeks? Who made more money? You got to stop looking at it from a monetary. It's time, right? I can make 10, 15 grand in 2 weeks, maybe sometimes a week. Land development. Me and my wife got a huge land development deal right now we're working on. We're about to be finished with it. Came through the wholesaling pipeline. We'll probably make $750,000 on it because we went direct to seller. And, well, actually, I take that back. I'm talking crap on realtors. I got that deal from a realtor. But it was a referral, but everybody knew that I'd do that, so I'm branded as the real estate guy, which we'll talk about later too, branding. See, these are some of the deals that I've got direct to seller. First deal to your left is a 12-plex that is it's in Panama City, Florida. I just closed it now 2 weeks ago. We're throwing that one on MLS next week. That was a direct mail lead. We bought for $525. It appraised for, as is, it appraised for $750. I captured how much? That's almost $200,000 in equity. Why? Because I went direct to seller. If that guy would have got a hold of a broker, he'd have said, man, you got to sell that thing on MLS, and we could get you $750. Well, look, that's not my problem to educate him on that he needs to sell it with a realtor. But what happened was I went direct to seller, and most of the time these guys are baby boomers, so this guy's paid for this property 100 times over. He doesn't mind giving it to me at a sweet deal, right? He's made his money. Next deal, the single-family home with the columns. That is a deal in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I got that deal off a PPC lead. That was a wholesale deal. I just closed that deal 3 weeks ago and sold it. I paid $165 for that house. It appraised for $235 as is. All I did was clean it up, re-landscape it, throw it back on MLS, sold it for $235, made 55 grand. That's all I did. Third one is a 24-unit mobile home park in Dusson, Louisiana. I paid $210,000 for that park. We're just about finished rehab. We got about 3 weeks left of rehab. I'll probably be into it about $450. It's going to appraise right around $800,000 to $850,000 because I created so much value add. I would have never been able to get that deal if I wouldn't have went direct to seller. That was another referral. My wife found me that deal from posting on social media, branding myself. Last deal to the right is that's a 30-unit mobile home park in Bonifay, Florida. That was a direct mail lead. We got that deal for $575,000, appraised for $835,000 as is. You see how all this equity that I'm building up? Every month we're adding $200,000 and $300,000 worth of net worth equity, not cash, net worth equity onto our portfolio. You can't do that with deals on MLS, but you can if you go direct to seller. So why is it the best time in history to get into wholesaling? Who knows what the baby boomer generation is? 10,000, if you don't know what the baby boomer generation is, they're the post-war babies that when all our great-grandfathers came back from World War II, they had a lot of babies. They had 8 to 10 kids was the average. All these kids are all retiring now, and they all are leaving properties that are distressed because they lived in them for 50, 60 years on the market. And most of these deals can't be sold on the open market because they're so distressed. And these people might have paid 20, 30 grand for these houses 30, 40 years ago. They are unloading them. The biggest wealth transfer is happening right now with real estate because all these properties, and not just single-family homes, the apartment complex and the 2 mobile home parks, all those were from baby boomers. I bought every single one of them from baby boomers. So so basically the next 10, 20 years, you're going to have so much off-market inventory. It's going to keep on rolling on the market. And I'm just capturing equity, direct, marketing direct to seller to these baby boomers. And other avenues too. We do a lot of pre-foreclosures and probate, things of that nature, which I can show you. So things I've learned, like on my journey of wholesaling, right? I've been doing this. I've been a real estate investor since I was 25. I'm 38. But I didn't know the direct seller method. I didn't know the wholesale method up until 5 years ago. And it totally changed my business because I undercut it. I went back to the basic of becoming the source of the deal, right? Instead of buying from other people, go direct to seller, right? Things I wish I'd have learned along the way. Wish I would have started with wholesaling, because if I would have started with wholesaling, there's properties, I bought $3 million worth of single-family homes off of MLS before I knew how to wholesale. I'm selling off every single one of them. We lost money probably on 4 or 5 of them because I bought it 80 cents on the dollar, because thinking that they were deals from realtors. Realtors bringing me deals, right? That's what happens when you become a real estate investor. You go buy from realtors. Go direct to seller. Stop wholesaling everything. Get access to private money, which I can show you and help you with. Matter of fact, Chris Nagel is going to be speaking next on private money. He's going to help you with that. Get access to private money so you can take down the wholesale deals, meaning the houses that are not that messed up, and just throw them back on MLS. And they got people that'll buy them as is, especially in good neighborhoods. You don't have to rehab everything. Get access to private money, which we talked about. Multiple markets. Realtors make the best acquisition managers. So we're flipping and wholesaling in 5 markets right now. Lafayette, Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Mobile, Alabama, and the Panhandle of Florida. All of my partners are realtors. Why do you think I'm having realtors as my partners? Why? Because they know the market, right? I want realtors, I want people that are in the know, that I don't have to babysit. I can literally just partner up with these guys. This is basically how I'm doing virtual wholesaling in 5 markets in 3 states. Partner up with a realtor who doesn't have a ton of money to spend on marketing, but he knows the market inside and out. He knows the players. He knows the buyers. Get the leads coming into your office, and we just quarterbacking all these leads, right? And it's as simple as that. And that's how we're doing multiple 6 figures a month. Next month, we should have close to a $250,000 a month. Just from being in all these markets and having our partners quarterback all of them, with being that they're realtors because they know the market. Own the online space, right? What do I mean by own the online space? Like we're heavy Facebook, PPC, SEO. The newer generation, and even the baby boomers. If you look at all these baby boomers, there's a lot of baby boomers getting on Facebook. A lot of these older people are getting into the online space. What would you do if you were losing your house right now? What would you type in? What's the first thing you'd probably do? You'd probably go on your phone and type in "sell my house fast," right? So I want to own the online space, which I do in most of those markets. Track and measure everything with statistics. Split test, measure, adapt, and change to your market. Just because I'm telling you Facebook, PPC, SEO, all those things work in my markets does not necessarily mean they're going to work in your market. You have to really split test and try these different things, which I can help you with. Now, it's a picture of my wife with our land development we do, and I'm showing you this because I need to tell you something. If you're doing this game of real estate, even business in general by yourself, dude, you're losing so much momentum. Like, get your wife involved, right? Even if she gets her realtor's license, even if she just helps you with the flipping, it's so much fun with my wife helping me do all this. We literally are building a legacy together as a team, right? She found this deal. We got this $28,000 an acre. We're selling those lots right now for $170,000 an acre after we develop it. Crazy. Where can you make that kind of money? I don't know of another place. I mean, real estate, guys, if you're not in real estate, I'm telling you, you're gonna lose a lot of time. You're gonna lose a lot of sleep because businesses are great. Like I own a few businesses too, but Technology will wipe your business out like that. I'll tell you why. Well, I used to own a bunch of quick lube car wash and mechanic shops. I had to sell off most of them because technology is phasing me out. When I first got an oil change business, people were changing oil every 3,000 miles. Now, how often you change it? How often you guys changing your oil? 10, 15? They got some vehicles doing 20,000 miles. So technology wiped me out. You may have a $100 million business right now. In 5 years, it could be gone that quick. Real estate is tried and true. Now, if you have a business, I'm not knocking that. You should definitely keep doing that if you're making a ton of money. But what are you doing with your profits? Either you should be reinvesting back in your business or putting it all back into real estate. So listen, I'm done talking about real estate now because it don't matter. It don't mean nothing, right? How am I able to scale my business? How am I able, I get clients, I get students all the time. Chris, how are you killing it? How are you doing so well in real estate? Dude, it's not some fancy marketing. Guys, it's personal development. If you look at all the big hitters in any industry, what are they huge on? Personal development. You don't think Grant Cardone's personally developed? I know for a fact he is. And when I say personal development, right? You got to work on yourself. If you guys are here, you came here because you wanted to get something out of this. You've got to work on your mind. As an individual, you have a body. You have a mind and you are a spiritual being. I think most religions on the planet agree with that you're a spiritual being. If you take each one of those aspects and work on them, you can't help but to get better, right? So what if you're worth $100 million but you're 200 pounds overweight? Who cares? How are you going to enjoy your life? So what if you're worth $100 million but you had the titty bar every weekend, or you're on drugs? Who cares? You're morally and spiritually bankrupt. Mind, right? Are you reading? Are you getting around like-minded people? If you came here, you're like-minded. Listen, guys, there's not a lot of people like you guys. There's not. You guys are special. You may not believe that. How many people are getting up and spending a lot of money to come listen to high-level guys to speak about how you can better your life and your business? Not many. Most people are watching an NFL game and drinking a six-pack, and that's all they worry about. Work on yourselves. Reading books, masterminds, mentors, coaches, conferences, which you're at now. Fasting. Guys, you don't need 5-6 meals a day. I eat 1 meal a day. You come hang out with me, like my students like, dude, what do you eat? Do you even eat? No, dude, I run on solar power and deals. That's what I run on. You don't have to have 3 or 4 meals a day. And I ain't going to get into fasting and all that because it's a whole nother topic. I ain't got enough time. But on the spiritual side, right, and take all the sugar out of your body. Sugar's poison, guys. It's freaking poison. How are you going to operate at a high level running a business if you're pumping yourself with Starburst every other hour? Spirit, right? Having good ethics, tithing, doing the right thing, having good intentions, meditation, visualization. Now, granted, a lot of that comes with action. You can't just do all these things and sit on your couch and I'm going to become successful. You've got to take massive action and have an insane work ethic. I don't know anybody that has a business that doesn't have an insane work ethic, especially in the beginning. So the most successful people I know are highly, highly evolved versions of themselves. When you come into this world, you're not highly evolved. Some people are more talented than others, but it's like an onion, right? You got to peel off the bullshit. You might have had a bad bringing up. Your parents might have beat you or whatever. Drugs, alcohol, whatever. Everybody has their bullshit, right? But you can work on yourself and pull all that trash off and get to the core of who you are and your potential, right? And you're going to do that with personal development. If you work on yourself harder than you work on your business and life will improve by default. The same goes for your team. So just work on your team. Work on you. Most people, I get a lot of students, most people are trying to figure out what's the secret, but the secret is there is no secret, right? A lot of people are not developed enough to implement the information that they're given today. I'm sorry, but a lot of you guys here that came and listened to this stuff, you may not implement it because you're not personally developed enough to implement it. You've got to be a highly evolved version of yourself. So the secret is personal development, guys. There's no doubt about it. If you're going to go broke on yourself first. What you guys are doing now to come and level up is perfect. Come to masterminds. Come to conferences. Go broke on yourself first. Then once you scale yourself, you can scale any business, right? But you got to have the skills. You got to have the basic fundamentals. If you're not disciplined, you don't take action. That's the fundamentals. You're trying to build a house of cards. you're not going to go on. How do you build a house? You build the foundation first. If you don't got a foundation, what's the foundation? You got to become a master of the basics. Be fanatical about the fundamentals. There's no secret. Like everybody's looking for that secret formula how to make money and do well. So you got to ask yourself, who do you have to become? What do I have to do in order to have the life you want? Be, do, have. Become that person that you need to become. Do the things that you got to do. Do the hard work. Stop trying to take the side road or the easy road. Do the hard work. And you'll have whatever you want. So master the basics. Become a fanatic about the fundamentals. How do you become a pro at something? You master the fundamentals in your space or occupation. That goes for you guys, not just in real estate, in business. Become so good in your space. And how do you become so good? You just become a master of the basics. Don't be a house of cards like we talked about. Every house needs a strong foundation. Master the skills in your space so you can scale without mastering the skills you would never be able to scale. So there's your formula right there. Skills, systems, scale. I get students all the time, Chris, I need to scale my business. I need the systems. Dude, you don't even know how to talk to people. You ain't even got no skills. The skill of communication, the skill of discipline, the skill of personal development, that's the foundation. Grow your team, grow yourself, then you can implement. So who's going to implement the systems if they ain't got no skills? It's in that order: skills, systems, then you can scale. I didn't just open up a wholesaling business, a flipping business, and start in 3 states. It's not how it works. I had to master the fundamentals, and now I'm scaling because I'm a master of the basics. How do you live forever? How do you have an impact on family and others, right? You leave a legacy. That can be with business, that can be with real estate. It's probably more so with real estate. You look at all the big names in business, Rockefeller Way and this and that, all these different Trump Towers. They're doing it with real estate, guys. It's no secret. Or you can do it with massive impact. That's why it's called impact players, guys. We're here to impact you. I want to talk about 2 of my students that came because I know I had a massive impact in their life, and that's a spiritual game for me. That makes me feel good to know that I've helped these guys, right? I've got one. So where's Ben Mearson? Ben Mearson, come up here. Where's Matt Soltis? Come up here, Matt. Give these guys a hand. I want to talk about these guys. So Ben right here is from Canada, Windsor, Canada. This guy right here made $750,000 in my program his first year. $750,000.
Real talk.
Now, how much money I paid you to come up here?
You didn't pay me a dime.
Matt right here is from Orlando, Florida. This guy made $480,000 in the past 6 months. He's been in my program 6 months. Now, give him a big hand. That's impressive, guys. Now, I'm not going to sit here and bullshit you and tell you that everybody that's in my program that does that. This is fucking hard. Excuse my language, sorry. My little boy's right there. It's hard. It requires work. It requires such a big purpose that your purpose has to be greater than the barriers that you're going to confront, because the barriers are going to be big. And if your purpose is not bigger, you will not be able to knock down those barriers. Ben, why don't you tell us a little bit, what do you think made you so successful? Give us a little bit of a rundown of what you think in your mind helped you.
I'm speaking to your boob, though. Hope that's okay. I had the drive. I wanted to do something, but I didn't have the focus, right? So, real estate, we were trying to do deals and all this kind of thing. When I met Chris, I was like, dude, there has to be a better way. I was just pursuing a better way of doing things. And I realized that it wasn't the tactical stuff. It wasn't the way of doing the business. It was all up here. It was all mindset. So I think the biggest thing you did for me was just help me peel back those layers of that onion.
Yep.
Find out, who am I really at the core? And once I knew what that was, it was like, boom, exploded. Because then it gave me the confidence to take massive action because I knew I was going in the right direction.
And Ben's no joke. This guy's got a massive team now. He's wholesaling in 4 markets now in Canada.
Yep.
He's got, almost 8-10 people on the team now. Between the branding and everything else, he's building a brand online. The guys, I'm super, this is my legacy, guys. I brought him up here, to brag, and this makes me feel good to know I helped him. To know I helped this guy be able to support his family more, that's legacy. Yeah, I want to leave a legacy to my kids too, but it's not just about your family, it's about helping other people. Matt right here, Tell us how you made $480,000 in 6 months.
Well, if he was paying me for this, I'd tell him to take his course. But really, I don't know. I didn't hear the beginning of it because I had an extended lunch. But, courage, I think it was John, the second speaker. When I joined the course, I told Chris, I said, who's the fastest person that made the most money? And he told me who it was, and it's that gentleman sitting over there, or standing right there. And so that was my goal. It was for the courage. And so I just had the courage to do it, and I pretty much came pretty close to doing that. But Ben kept pushing me. I go back to that, breaking the mile. If somebody else breaks the mile, the fastest time in the mile, and then somebody else does it, it's a limiting belief. And Chris doesn't do that. Chris is actually on the forefront. All of his students are following him. He's not a mentor that posts checks every other month. All of those properties that he bought is within the last 30 days.
Yep.
I would assume that he bought more properties than both
Yeah.
Ben and I.
We close another mobile home park in 2 weeks, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, you got to be careful who you follow, guys. There's a lot of people that are not doing what they teach. Like, make sure you follow people that are doing what they teach. But understand that it's not going to be easy. Like, take the hard road. Stop looking for the easy road. Look for the hard road. It'll make you a better person. It'll pull yourself out of yourself. Like, you got to run towards your fear. Because the longer that you're trying to find the easy way, everybody's trying to find the easy way. Dude, that's not the route. The route is the hard way. The route is going and busting down these barriers and having a bigger purpose. What's your purpose, man? How you doing? What do you think your purpose is? Because you got to have a massive purpose to do what you've done.
I was telling the people I came with, it inspired me when the gentleman that came up to speak, for everything. Sorry for your name, but he's teaching kids that are 9 and 13. I mean, everybody needs to expand their think. If you're in your 30s, I'm 32. I made $225 last year. I'll make $1 million this year.
Wow.
So
That's awesome. Give that guy a hand. That's awesome. Ben, what's your purpose, man? Because I'm telling you, it's the purpose, guys, because the purpose has to be so on fire because it's so hard. You're going to get kicked in the nuts as an entrepreneur. Like, I go home sometimes, like, damn, like, my wife, she has to support me because, it takes so much, so much energy, so much, integrity. So, it's work, guys. Ben, what's your deal, man?
Dude, I'm a poor immigrant from Romania, communist country, refugee, came here, oldest of 9 children. I got some motherfucking purpose. I'm sorry for the language. You either want this shit or you don't want this shit. You're either ready to roll or you're not ready to roll. When you come here with that kind of purpose, man, you just find the path, find the mentor, find the one guy that you can look up to and say, that's my Roger Bannister. That's my 4-minute mile. I got to keep up with him. So I'm sorry for the cussing, but when you got that much heart inside of you, nobody can hold you back. All you need is a path. You need somebody to say, go. I'm here for you. I got you. This man brought that out. And now there's no stopping it. Now it's a beast. Y'all feel me?
Yeah, that's awesome. Guys, these guys are a testament that you can do it. I talked to this man a year ago, and he couldn't, 2 years ago, I'm sorry. And he was on a struggle bus. Let's be real. Let's just be authentic. He was on a struggle bus. He couldn't even afford my program. But I heard it in his voice. And you told me, say, Chris, I'm gonna be your best student. You told me that. I'm gonna be your best student. I can't afford it now, but I will. And then 6 months ago, you finally did it. Yeah. And you freaking crushed it, guys. So you can do this. It takes work. So give these guys a hand of applause real quick. I got a few more minutes left. All right, that's how you leave legacy, guys. You have an impact on people. Just like Grant Cardone had an impact on me and a lot of you guys. Dude, it's impact. It's leaving a legacy. It's helping people. So these are my kids. Asa, come here. So this is my middle son, Asa Rood. I have 5 kids. 2 of my babies are still at home. We have another one in the audience. I wanted to bring him up here because I wanted him to remember that I was up here on this stage. When he's 60 years old and I'm dead and gone, I want him to remember, hey, I want him to talk to his grandkids or his great-grandkids and say, you remember Papa Rood? You remember Papa Rood came up there and left us a legacy, and now we got $200 million in real estate? That's what you need to do this for, guys. Look for your purpose. Look for that thing that drives you. Maybe it's not the same purpose as me, but the purpose is going to have to be so big because you're going to have so many barriers. Asa, you have anything to say, son?
Skills get the deals.
All right, guys. Thank you.